All right, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Rustic Barbell. Here today, I have kind of a hodgepodge of things going on. I'll explain it as we get rolling through the video, but thanks so much for joining. Here, I'm trying to warm up my hands, my wrists, my elbows, that sort of thing. Pronation, supination work. I try to keep my fingers nice and stiff and rigid. Trying to get whatever blood flow I can in there as possible. Here we have some flexor work going on. In a little bit, I'm going to do some extensor work, and you're going to see what that looks like. I do this every single time I come out to train, regardless of what I'm doing, because I am using my hands for everything. I've mentioned this before. I am old, weak, and slightly skinny fat, so I really need to do this sort of stuff. And the reality is, I have a kind of a long training age, so it's important for me to take care of all this prehab slash rehab stuff, all this warming up, in order for me to stay in the game for as long as I possibly can. I really, really enjoy this. So, I've been doing this since I was 11 years old. I'm almost 50. Certainly doesn't look it. It looks like I've been playing cards and doing needlepoint for all that time, or just riding bicycles. Certainly does not look like I've been lifting weight for all that time, but I have been. It's just not in the cards for me to be a big, bulky bastard. It's what it is. Here I'm trying to warm up my elbows with the mini band from Elite FTS. I'm doing, supination, pronation. A little confused here trying to figure this out. It's slightly funny. I do flexor, I do extensor work, so you're going to see a lot of that. And the point of putting these videos up is not to show you what skinny old people can be capable of, but it's to give you guys different ideas, whether you're just starting out in this game, whether you've been doing this a long time and you're kind of banged up and you're frustrated from all of the injuries. Do the prehab stuff, do the rehab stuff. I love what Matt Wenning says. It's not what you can do, it's what you can recover from. He's absolutely right. There's a reason why he's always boasting about being a big savage and not being all banged up. It's because he does all this stuff. He does the things that he doesn't maybe necessarily post on videos for views and likes. But he does all of this kind of prehab, rehab, warming up stuff to be able to stay in the game. He is famous for his winning warm up, which is a little bit intense in and of itself. But so I listen to the people that are more smarter than I am, that are still doing it. I'm wondering, I'm like, what are the people that have been doing this for years that are still in it? What are they doing to continue to be able to stay in it? And they're doing all this little ridiculous stuff. And it helps, it absolutely helps. I know people that have been doing this for a long time know that. It's not very exciting to watch on videos, but it is in fact necessary. So be sure you're warming up everything. And there's really not too much to say about that, honestly. So a Rustic Barbell is, as I mentioned before, a free gym, Northern Maine, free garage-based gym. I train people 4 days a week out of here. I've had everybody from, strongmen from Texas, power lifters, all kinds of people. I've had, 65-year-old couple here. I got moms. I got beginners here, teenagers. A couple of savages have rolled through here over the years. It's free for everybody. I absolutely love passing on what I've learned. I've learned from, world record holders, national, state record holders. I've learned from one of the best knee surgeons in the Northeast. He was in a couple of Olympic Games in the 80s. I say all this stuff because I'm like, who knows more than I do? Who can I learn from? I trained with Greg Panora for a while. Mike Large Marge Lawrence is super smart and just a savage in his own right. So here I am doing some pull downs. Normally I'll do a main movement, I'll do a secondary, and then something like 2 to 4 assistance movements that's going to help my main movement. Kind of mixing it up here today a little bit. I'm not on a particular program. So I have the freedom to be able to do whatever I want. I'm not doing a competition. So I was doing the pull downs here, and now here we're doing some bent over, we're pretty much landmine rows. I love this handle. This is another handle from Lucas Raymond at Arm Assassin Strength Shop. It has 3 different grips and I can either put this on a landmine bar or I can put it on a cable machine to do tricep work, bicep work, whatever. I love the fact that I can spin it around, do pronation, supination. I'm doing some supination work here. It doesn't necessarily show it in this clip, but a lot of times with this particular handle or with a handle that I have multiple grips on, I'll start out at the widest one and then I'll go to the next closest one and then the closest one. So I'll do like 5 to 8, set it down, pick it up, go to the inside, another 5 to 8, pick it up, go to the farthest inside handles, pick it up, do another 5 to 8, whatever it is. Just get some blood flow going in there. And here I go for the inside handle here. Trying to keep my back straight. I'm a little more upright than I would care to be, but I am trying to hit a little more of the upper back today. The rhomboids, kind of the mid-trap area. And I'm trying to think of rowing into my belly. It just feels like it works my lats a little bit better. The elevation and the quarters is obviously so I can get a little bit of a better range of motion there. And a thumbs up. So here you can see she's keeping her back. This is kind of mid-set for her. The video came in kind of halfway, but she's trying to keep her back very, very straight. I don't think there's anything wrong with heaving weights to a point, but the more strict that you can do something, the more it keeps the injuries away, basically. I've said this before, but I like to do a lot of pausing in my lifting. That is certainly not earth-shattering weight there, but I like to do a lot of pausing in my lifting. I just feel stronger doing it. I am wearing that Spud Inc. Comfort skinny fat belt. It's a little bit of compression without actually putting on a belt. I don't have the strongest lower back in the world, so this just helps me. The little extra bit of compression makes me feel a little more betterer. So again, this is kind of a mix of a lot of different movements today. It's not what we typically do, and it is a little bit out of order also. So here I'm doing some tricep work here with those big giant softballs. I like the chain because it wants to kind of fling me around a little bit. I typically work with 40 pounds, so 2 chains on each hand, which again is still not a lot of weight, but you can see my right hand kind of dipping a little bit sooner. I am having some right elbow pain, so I dropped that down to just a measly 20 pounds per hand because I am experiencing joint pain. Again, it comes and it goes with me, so my biggest limiting factor today is basically joint pain. So if I don't do all of that little rehab stuff that I was talking about at the beginning of the video, I pay for it. And here I have been experiencing a little bit of pain the last month or so. What I really should do is just take a break. Honestly, take a good solid month off, ride my bike, walk a lot. That's the sort of thing that I should really be doing. But it is tough, as all long-time meatheads know. It's tough to stay out of this game for any length of time, regardless of what your body tells you. So I always have the hope that I can work around it. Most of the time I can. So I pick these movements based on what I think feels the best. So this particular movement didn't really feel that hot. So I believe for the next set, I ended up switching it up, and I experimented off camera with a lot of different bars and different handles and attachments that I have to see what would feel a little bit better. So I think I switched it up to a couple of, small kettlebells here. I want to say they're like 35-pound bells a piece. That actually seemed to feel pretty good. For whatever reason, I felt like I had a little more freedom in how I moved my hand around, my elbows around. So I rolled with it. I don't think I got quite as many, but it definitely felt better. So, that's what I have to do. Did I plan on switching it up today? Nope. But it is what I have to do. I try to get as much elbow extension as I can, but I do stop just before where it doesn't feel good. Because look, I'm not looking to bang myself up anymore. I just want to keep on going in this game. And you can see a little bit there that my right hand never really comes down as far. That elbow has been giving me a little bit of trouble lately, along with that right shoulder. I have been seeing somebody regularly to try to get in under that scapula and dig it out and try to loosen it up and separate it a bit. It's pretty attached to that rhomboid. The bicep tendon's been kind of flared up a little bit lately. So right here, I'm doing another form of tricep extension here. These, I gotta be honest, were pretty easy, as you can tell, but it felt really, really good. So I just did as many as I possibly could, which wasn't a lot, but they felt good. So again, those first two movements, first one didn't feel great with the softball and the chain. Kettlebells felt a little bit better, but I'm like, let's see what else. And some days that's what I have to do. It is what it is. Don't be afraid to kind of mix things up a little bit. These actually felt really good. Again, I mean, you can see they're pretty easy. It is sort of like a walking lunge where it seems ridiculously easy, then all of a sudden they catch right up with you. That's kind of how these things work here. Here, what I'm doing, I believe, is a little bit of bicep work after the tricep work. It's really important to do bicep work for the ladies at the nursing home, especially the ones in hallway 3 that don't get a lot of visitors. So I try to keep those up. These plate curls I really, really like. I mean, look, it's 45 pounds. It's nothing earth shattering, but it feels great. So I just did a bunch of them. I want to say the next movement, I switched it up a little bit. I think I did a couple of sets of these with that plate, leaning over that little bench that I have there, that chest-supported row. I set it flat. Do a video on that later. I'm also going to do a video of a little quote-unquote gym tour. It almost, like an old crusty curmudgeon, annoys me when I see like 50 million gym tours on YouTube. But you know what? We're experiencing kind of a crappy time right now in the world, and it's a fantastic thing that people are setting up gyms in their house. I've had this one for years and years, but I just think it's great. So I'm going to jump in the game also and do a little gym tour here pretty soon, for no other reason than to give people different ideas on bars, on handles, on setups. I think a lot of us like different tools, different gadgets, different attachments. I am a little bit of a handle whore, as they say. So here I am using a kettlebell to do some curls with. This one really challenges the grip. Again, it's pretty lightweight. I want to say that's a 45-pound bell. Nothing I call home about, but it feels great. It's a heck of a challenge on my grip. I love anything that's different, that will challenge me, that doesn't hurt. That's kind of what I enjoy the most. So as a finisher here, I'm doing some battle ropes. I like conditioning as much as I like running. I hate it, but it's important. Oh man, we are making the earth move here with this one. That is some serious raw power going on, folks. I need to move that camera. That's on the power rack where that rope is attached to. So it's, man, just not working out great. But this thing will light up your lats. It'll light up your grip, light your forearms up. And it is a really good conditioning tool also. Here, I think the next one I did 2 arms up and down as opposed to alternating. And it's a fantastic conditioning tool. We find a lot of different ways to get conditioning in here, whether it's pushing the prowler, dragging the sled, doing really high rep squats, whatever it is, stone loading. I've got a series of Atlas stones that go from really light to kind of sort of heavy. Got like 6 of them or something. So it's a fantastic way to get some conditioning work in. And I just get really creative with it. This is another way of doing that. So if I get bored with riding a bike, I'll come out here and I'll do this. And I want to say here, I started with an alternating movement. And then once I got gassed with that, I want to say I switched to like a double up and down. And that was my day today. I want to say the next training session is going to be a strongman training session specifically. I am holding a competition here in June, so there does need to be some training that needs to get going for that. But we have a lot of fun. So if you're ever in Northern Maine, look us up. Look us up on Facebook, a Rustic Barbell. Ask to join the page. Check it out. What we're about here. It is free. If you're in the area, come have fun. Have a good day, folks, and enjoy your life. Bye bye.